Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I got a little follow-up video on making a strop. So we're gonna make a strop. Not nothing fancy. It's just but it'll work, totally work. Be a good size too. So what I done, what you need to do this, I'll go ahead and tell you, is some flat pieces of wood. The thickness it doesn't have to be 3/4 of an inch, but this is just what I had that was good and flat. Width, 2.5 or 3 inches wide, 4 inches wide, and length is up to you. These are 10 inches long. I'm not going to cover the whole thing in leather, and I'm going to put a little lanyard hole on the end, just because that's my style. But you'll need a couple pieces of wood, and I say a couple because we're going to put leather on this and then lay this on top of it and clamp it together, and that's what's going to help it dry. But a couple pieces of wood, a drill for drilling holes. This is clear Gorilla Glue. I use it for all kinds of stuff. It doesn't foam, so it works good. Some scissors or a utility knife, a couple of clamps, and some leather. And this leather's got like all kind of wonky stuff on the back, but it's going to be plenty fine for stropping. That's not going to hurt anything. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to kind of eyeball and see where our leather is going to go. See how we can cover the most of it. And I'm just kind of looking at it to see how I can get the most there. And this is where I'm gonna cut it. So I'm just gonna mark it. So I've just marked the end of it. I'm gonna trim that off. See where I touched myself with the grinder a while ago? Got me. Anyway, we'll size it up again and see what it looks like. That looks like that's going to give us a pretty good bit there. Scribe it again. You can scribe it with a pencil or a marker or anything really, just to get it the size that you want. This just helps me stay a little neater. And then I'll trim it to length also. Then now that I got it pretty squared, I'm gonna square off this other end. And we'll see how it looks here. Oh yeah, that'll be good. And I can put me a lanyard hole right there, and it'll be nice. So what I'm gonna do also is I'm gonna mark this just where this goes. Then I'm gonna round these edges off a little bit, make it friendly, as Mr. Gibson would say. Just knock that sharp edge off of it. I'm not gonna take any of the edges off the top though. I want it to be good and square on them. Oh, broke a piece off. That's okay. And this outside edge can be just, my leather will be like that. So now I'm gonna take my leather, and I like putting the fuzzy side up. So I'll take just something I can scrape with. This is just a chisel from over the forge. And I'm just gonna scrape this back side rough it up. I just want to make it where I know the glue bonds good to it. I don't have to go too crazy with it, but that would be plenty. Then I'm gonna put the glue on my leather piece without getting the top all in it. I'm just gonna cover the whole piece there. And like I said, this stuff doesn't foam, but a little goes a long way. So I'm gonna take and just kind of make sure I get it all over everything. And if I need to put some more on there, I will. But that looks like it's gonna be pretty good there. I'm gonna put a little bit more on there. Just want to make sure that it's pretty well covered. I'm not going to get too crazy because it might try to come through those holes. I think it'll be okay. So now, pick your piece where you want it to go and stick her on there. And then now, I'm going to take my other piece here and lay it on top and just clamp it together. Put it on this side just to okay, and now you just wait. So I'd let it sit for 24 hours, and it's ready to strop. Like the only other thing that you're going to do to it, you can kind of trim the edges up with your knife, but it's pretty tight anyway. So there's not going to be a ton of stuff you need to do. But after this dude is dry, Butch, what's wrong, buddy? You'll have this stropping compound, and all you do is rub it on the leather just like that, like nothing. That's it, nothing fancy, and you're ready to strop. I'm gonna go ahead and drill a hole for a lanyard. Try not to bust it. Still busted it, but that's okay. I'll put a big rope in it and just a big string, and I'll leave it so when we do classes, folks can just come and strop their stuff. But this would be a great at-home strop. It would work plenty fine. It's at least as big as some of the other ones I got, and depending on the leather and the other materials you have, you could make it, 16 inches long if that's what you wanted. But I think a decently, 12, 14 inches is a good one when you're learning to strop, so you can get good strokes on it, and it's not as whoops, pants was unzipped. It's not as tight to use, so you got to have your hand real close to it. It's kind of, if you're not familiar with doing it, it's kind of scary. But yeah, again, recap. So you'll need 2 pieces of wood, size up to you. Leather. This leather's just from a remnants bag that I got, so it's just bits and pieces. But a piece of leather big enough to cover the amount of strop that you want to cover. Some glue. This is just clear Gorilla Glue. It's the same stuff that I wrap my jute stuff with. A pair of scissors or a utility knife, and the compound, and that's basically it. And some clamps. You could. There's tons of way of doing it though. You could have put the strop down and had a longer board and put 2 screws in it and screwed the top board down to the desktop or your workbench, and really hold it tight. And when it's dry, you just take the screws out and take the top board off and you're ready to go. Or clamp it to the workbench. Lots of options. You could have made it longer and screwed it together and then cut it after you got it loose. Lots of ways of doing it. But however you do the things that I showed you, that's how you would make a strop. However you go about doing that. But anywho, I told you guys I would show y'all how to make one. Appreciate the support. Like and follow, subscribe. Check out Bushcraft Kelso on Instagram, bushcraftkelso.com. But I got lots of stuff coming, guys. So y'all enjoy y'all's strop. And if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below and I'll try to answer them and get to you. But it's really that simple. All right, guys. Have a good week. Later.